Big thanks to MPB for sponsoring this week's video.
Hello everybody, and welcome to New York City. No, sorry, I'll drop that joke. Done it on a few videos now. Welcome to Jamaica. Wasn't funny the first time. No, this is the Ogwen Valley here in Wales, and to tell you the truth, I've not been here in a long time. I've filmed dozens of videos here, I think, but it must have been, I don't know, 6, 9, maybe even 12 months since I've been in these mountains, and I'm not entirely sure why that is. I think broadly speaking, I've fallen a little bit out of love with taking photos in the mountains, and I don't know why that is. I tend to avoid asking myself questions like that because the answers to questions like that tend to hurt my head, but I will investigate it at some point, maybe on a long drive, because I think it'd probably make a good video, whatever the answer is. Anyway, that does beg the question, why am I here now? Basically, this photo here, or something like this style and Tryfan in the background, I have wanted for years, and I thought I'd come at sunset to see if this is the time of day to get it. I think it's either going to be sunrise or sunset, and I've been past here plenty of times at sunset, but always at the end of a long day in the mountains, and I just want to get back to the car and eat pizza. So today I've come up specially just to get the shot. I'll still eat pizza afterwards, but I'll give myself time to get the shot first. I can't imagine that you're shocked. I've wanted this photo for years. It's very human nature, isn't it? The style and the wall and the mountain in the background. You can even see the road down by the lake. Yeah, very much my kind of thing. If you watched my What's in My Bag video a month or two ago, you'll have seen me talking about my Peak Design sling. Yeah, I was going to say messenger, but it's a sling that I use, and that is my camera bag for the most part now. The only problem with that is that on days like today where you need to bring layers coming into the mountains, you need something bigger. So I bought my big Shimoda out today, which makes my posture look absolutely horrific. So I shall work on that. But first, this photo, and then pizza, and then posture. Missed it. Come back. It's been the warmest day of the year today, apparently, which is an absolutely pointless stat because it's the middle of April. So it's not exactly had much to beat, but it's been nice to have the sun out. Although there were more clouds than this earlier, which would have been good for the sunset. So I might not be sticking around too much longer than the sun going behind a garn. Still, try and find a composition before then, which I can't decide at the moment. I'm not a massive fan of this rock here, and it's annoying really because if you want Tryfan in the frame, and if you want this gate as well as the style, you have a hard time getting rid of this. So I don't really know what to do about that. I've known for a long time that there's a style here, but I've not paid enough attention to other people's shots to notice that rock, but I find it super distracting. Maybe here. So I'm at f8, 28 millimeters, and that's the shot we get. No idea what it looks like. Not terrible, but there could be a bit more interest in the sky. What about from up here? Yeah, I just think closer works better. The style isn't all that obvious up against a wall of the same colour. And if I want the style to be at least a co-subject along with Tryfan, then, well, it needs to be close to it. So I think this is the spot. there is cloud. Okay, all is not lost as far as cloud cover is concerned. There is some. Oh, that could be good. That could be really good. Cloud's taking its time to come down, but we're getting there. I don't actually know if it'll be the better photo, but it'd be nice to have the option in post to see what cloud looks like in the shot versus without. Just looking out for flat patches of grass, because if sunset's not right, I think sunrise will be, and obviously if you camp, you can have a go at both in the right conditions. I think there are some options, so maybe I'll do that later in the summer. I say later in the summer, when summer starts.
Well, this will shock you. My favourite photos from last night were when the clouds came. Although you can barely see them because of my editing style. Lots of other photographers would take advantage of cloud by bringing the highlights right the way down. But I prefer to have very, very bright skies and clouds, almost to the point where they're touching the very edge of the histogram. So yeah, that's just the look I like. But it does mean you can barely see them. I know they're there. Anyway, it wasn't the best conditions last night. I've seen light much more beautiful than that up there. And maybe if I go another 10 times, I'll get better conditions. It's a bit hazy as well, but I can't control any of that. That's fine. What I can control, and what I'm a bit annoyed with myself about, was the clumsiness of my composing. So the style in these shots is, broadly speaking, where I want it to be. The style doesn't massively stand out from the wall because the wall is essentially the same colour. So what I wanted to do was have the top of the style positioned so the backdrop was the lake, and therefore you can see the top of the style quite well. I also wanted these reeds in the corner. I think they add to the image. And I also wanted to make sure that this forest down here was put in a decent spot against this wall, that the wall wasn't kind of intruding on the forest. Problem is, from this exact spot, that there is a crossover between the planks of the style, just there. And I think that looks a little bit clumsy. And I also think having this post up against this bit of hill here is clumsy as well. Now, it's not necessarily the end of the world. I did get other options. This one is slightly better, as you might be able to tell. There's no crossover here, even if it is by millimetres. And there's much more room between this post and this hill here. But unfortunately, this bit of wall now gets in the way of the forest. And yeah, there's still not that much separation between the two planks. So I'm not sure that that works all that well either. And that goes for all the shots that I got when there were clouds, annoyingly. Now, this shot was taken much later on when I was about to leave, and there is better separation between the planks of the style, but I've still got the issue of the wall intruding on the forest down below. So I don't think, in short, I nailed a composition despite having taken about 300 photos there last night. So food for thought. Annoyed at myself. Anyway, there we have it. I'm sure I'll go up again, perhaps camping. Now, my sloppy compositions aside, if you like my editing style, I have a new preset pack available. You might know I've had a preset pack available for 2 or 3 years now. This new pack doesn't replace that pack, it merely builds upon it. Let me explain. The master preset pack that's been available for a while now, that basically encompasses a wide range of editing styles. And this new daily pack, so-called because I use it daily, takes a couple of the presets from the master pack that I've used most over the past couple of years and builds upon it. So what you get is my editing style, but split across 10 presets for lots of different conditions. So in short, if you're interested in experimental editing, then the master preset is for you. If you're interested in editing as I do, then the daily pack is for you. You can buy them both for a little discount as well if you're interested, but yeah, new preset pack available, thought I'd let you know. Also, actually, they're listed or numbered in the order that I use them. So the top one is the one that I use most. If I don't like the look of that on an image, then I'll move down to the one I use second most and third most. You get the idea. So that's how they're structured. But yeah, if you buy them, thanks for the support. Hopefully you enjoy them, and I look forward to your feedback. And finally, some sad news. I've decided to sell my Fuji X Pro 3 and my Ricoh GR, neither of which I've had all that long, but because I've bought the Leica and I've committed to experimenting with it for a year or two, I can't justify having lots more cameras about that I'm never going to have time to use. So I thought I'd sell them to free up some money to do some actual photography, rather than just having money sat on my shelf. Now to sell them, I'm going to be using the sponsor of today's video, MPB. And if you've not used MPB before to sell any kit, it is the most simple service. Basically, you go to mpb.com, you tell them what kit you've got, what condition it's in, and then you'll get an instant quote. If you're happy with that quote, they will arrange for a courier to come and pick up your gear, and then once they've received it and they've assessed it, they will give you an updated quote. If it's changed, perhaps your gear is in better condition than you thought, or maybe slightly worse, or maybe your assessment has been accurate. In any case, they will give you a quote, and if you're happy with that quote, they will pay you very, very quickly. And if not, they'll just send your gear back to you. It's a fantastic service and I would highly recommend it. I used to think that private selling was the way to go, but to be honest, I realised that by the time you sorted out insured shipping, by the time you've answered all the questions of prospective buyers, by the time you've paid fees of the services you're using, I just found it became a faff, and I think MPB is the way to go. So yes, if you're interested in selling gear to buy other photography gear, or for photography trips, or for anything outside of photography, MPB is the best service in my opinion. And, as I have many times, you can also buy used gear on MPB. And it's all assessed and tested rigorously before being put on the site, and every piece of gear that you buy comes with a 6-month warranty. Fantastic service, you can check it out in the links in my description. I'd highly recommend it. So a big thank you to them for their continued support of this channel. But yes, very sad to lose these, but I can't afford to just keep cameras that don't get used on my shelves. So yes. Perhaps in a couple of years I'll buy them back. Anyway, I shall see you next week when I'll be somewhere very different to that, because I'm selling this gear and using it for photography trips. All will be revealed. I'll see you then. Cheers.